Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am looking forward to today's reading. It is all about what needs releasing, what cords are needing to be cut. And so if there has been anything coming up for you that's been brushed up, especially with this past full moon at the time I'm recording this, as we are headed towards a new moon, this is really a perfect time to, if you'd like, to set an intention for something that you know you would like to release, as well as what you would like to bring in to your life, what you would like to manifest, what you would like to heal. So if you don't know, that's okay. You just hold the intention for whatever is in your highest and greatest good. And so for each pile, I have a designated card for you to tap into. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book so that you have a bit more to tap into. So for pile 1, here we have Hazel. Boundaries. The Hazel Deva message is this: my history of being planted in hedgerows means I am an ancient guardian of boundaries, both physical and spiritual. Let me teach you how to set your own boundaries so you know where to concentrate your power and wisdom. And so, pile 2, we have Eastern Cottonwood. Eastern Cottonwood connection. And the Deva message is this: I have great wisdom. The rustling of my leaves means that I am in continual communication with the Supreme Being. Let me show you how to become as one with the world around you so that everyone can benefit from your blessing. And for pile 3, we have Linden. Linden, peace. The Linden Deva message is this: look at my heart-shaped leaves if you want to understand my affectionate message to you. Try to send out a sense of love and peace wherever you are in the world, regardless of your outer circumstances. So with that being said, you can take your time, pause the video if you need to connect to which pile is your reading that contains the messages that you need to know. And I will see you at your selected reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose Hazel, this is your reading. So, boundaries. We're going to start with tarot. This is your final message, so I'm going to set it aside. But let's get into it. Beautiful. We have the moon. We have the 8 of Wands. And we have the 10 of Chalices. Okay. So first thing, pile 1 is, especially with the moon being here, and I mentioned in the intro, the full moon that had just passed, and no matter when you're coming to this, there could be some fear, and I'm feeling some doubt coming up within, and Spirit is reassuring you that all is well, that you are as connected as you need to be, that you are receiving what you are hoping, what you are wishing for. It feels like there's a little bit of a disconnect, and that's why I say you are connected, is that there is what appears to be maybe some spiraling and swirling in the thoughts. And so there's like this lack of maybe confidence in something that you had really put your heart and soul into. And so Spirit is recognizing all that you have put into this. And you're having this moment where the moon is stirring up a little bit. It's stirring up a little bit of self-doubt. And I'm really getting a sense of you protecting your own energy with Hazel, with the message around boundaries. We usually think about boundaries that we establish outside of us in some way, whether that's physical, whether that's even energetically, emotionally. And it doesn't have to be just outside of ourselves toward other people or situations. It could be within you as well. Some of you could be rather caught up in your mind sometimes, and there could be just so much going on there that you have all these ideas, you have the knowledge, the passion, but it feels like sometimes if there's like a little bit of a wobble in your own energy, it could become to the point of overwhelm. It could, and then the doubt can come in. So Spirit's just reassuring you to call back your power. And as we're talking about both releasing and calling in what you would rather have, if you have been experiencing some of this subconscious fears and doubt bubbling up, Spirit's calling you to recognize them and discern, take a beat to determine if the doubt and fears are coming from like a belief maybe inside of you, or is it the connections around you? So maybe there are some cords to other people and you may be picking up on their beliefs. That could be limiting beliefs and their own fears. And so, yeah, I just keep coming back to harnessing your own power and energy, because there is so much abundance of joy and happiness and connection and love here for you, Pile 1. And Spirit's like, if your energy is aligned properly for you, within you, and you are in tune, then you will be able to receive that. So I am going to look at your dark mirror card to get a sense a little bit more about what is needing to be released. Yeah, okay, Queen of My World. I love this card. So this card is all about that confidence and self-esteem and your own power, your own sense of your authority, your autonomy. So it's like, can you call that in? So for you, with this new moon coming up, it really could be about releasing some of the burden of fears and thoughts that aren't yours, that aren't meant to be part of your experience, part of your reality moving forward, that you can choose to even set a boundary with yourself. If you have a strong inner critic, it's really about claiming your authority, your sovereignty, your freedom from anything that is limiting you from having the joy and the peace that you desire. And so I'm also getting a message that for some of you, actually dressing. Okay, pile one. There was a spider, and I'm just gonna leave that, I think. But so that could be a message for some of you, because it literally fell from the camera, and I don't know like how, like where it came from. But I feel like the message there is you are the weaver of your own world, of your reality, and you can literally, like spiders, their webs, set boundaries as a net, right, to catch what they need. They catch their food, what's going to nourish them. And in some ways, you are doing this with your own energy, that you are kind of setting those boundaries for what it is that you need. Like you are casting energetically a net in the universe to capture what it is that you are wanting, that you are desiring, and what's right for your energy. And so I was, as the spider fell from the camera, the message coming through was around you really dressing the part that could be beneficial for you to really tap into that energy. And so you could make a conscious effort going forward, wearing the clothes that make you feel good, doing the things that make you feel good and confident, and just really, it's kind of like a self-care practice. So whatever makes you feel strong and confident and powerful, pile one. By the way, I did not kill the spider. It is living free somewhere here in my office. So just so you know. Okay, we have arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. Yeah, okay. So there is that, again, that message around boundaries and protecting yourself from any cords, connections to other people that aren't so healthy for you. And as you reclaim and harness your inner authority, it's going to feel easier and more natural to establish boundaries and also utilize your energy in a way that is protective. And I am seeing you call in the light and imagine, visualize, just know that there is light all around you that is acting as a barrier that allows all the good in and anything that needs to be released out, and that it is carried with you wherever you go, that could also be a good self-care practice as you are moving through your world in this more aware and conscious way. It really feels like over the next month, I'm getting. We have stag, trust, and thrive. Yeah. So this also is like powerful animal medicine. It's that you have, oh yeah, you have like the antlers almost in this card. She's wearing like this crown or headpiece, and it's visually reminding me of that. There's also this kind of sense of like the sharpness. It's like not being afraid. There's also like a spear here. Not being afraid to defend yourself, to stand in that. And I'm not saying go out and hurt people, of course not, but you're not just falling over and giving way to other people's I'm like hearing bullying. Like if there is any just negativity and kind of what feels like a repeated kind of attack, even if it's not like super aggressive, it could be kind of a passive way. It's those little like stabs that people can have toward others that fly under the radar, but it accumulates, right? I'm getting a sense of that for some of you. And this is where you are almost like regal, and I want to use the word like diplomatic, but you won't back down and you will defend yourself, but you won't like stoop to anyone else's level. Like you're not going to meet them where they're at if they're like, what's that saying, like punching below the belt. Like you aren't operating in that way. That is not where you're meant to be operating. It's you're up-leveling pile 1 for sure. So let's look at, we have the power of surrender. Yeah, we have surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. Ooh, yes. Surrender to joy, because it is right there. What feels like right there at your fingertips, and it is available to you. You are meant to have this in your life as your reality every day, and it feels like for the next month it is going to be a practice. It's going to be almost like a daily ritual where you bring in the joy. So for some of you, I'm like seeing like waking up in the morning and asking the question, what is going to bring me joy today? What kind of joy am I going to experience today? Something along those lines, whatever feels right for you. If this is calling to you, it's really setting that intention, and it's allowing you to reclaim your power each morning and really moving forward with a plan, with a purpose, pile 1. Because in some sense, you are this leader, you are this diplomatic person that you can bring this to other people as well, this sense, and people will look up to you like as an example is what it feels like to me. So let's see, we have another message here. Yeah, you are not alone. We are here for you. We never left through all the sadness and loneliness. However, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we are sending you. We are your family, friends, and guides. You never walk alone. We walk right beside you. Okay, and this is interesting because you had the moon and the 8 of Wands, and I was feeling that sense of doubt and something that you really put your heart and soul into, and then the communication, the connection to your own intuition and your guides, that you are receiving what you are meant to be receiving. And I feel that's connected to the communication. I feel like something was a little bit more subtle in this time frame, this recent time frame, and so that could be where some of the doubt and fear came up for you, because it feels like you are very intuitive and in tune, and so if there was like a little bit of a wobble energetically, and I feel like this happened to me as well recently, so if this resonates for you as well, this is your guides coming in, your past loved ones, ancestors, whoever you primarily connect with. For some of you, it could be the angels, but they are still communicating with you and you are receiving them, even if it's not as conscious, even if it's not quite as I would say, noticeable. And this could be because there has been more like bubbling up to be released for you to move forward in a new way for this next time frame. And really, it's like working with your energy in a new way, pile one, that's going to open you up even more to that inspiration, to that intuitive connection, to your passions. So it's going to feel so much better. Just trust that process. And again, trust and thrive. All that is being asked of you is to have enough trust and faith to take that one step forward each moment, moment by moment. So let's look at your final message. Okay, and we have unity, and I will read from the book. And unity, that's number 1. Union, mystical experience, spiritual home. When this card comes up in a reading, it is asking us to remember the mystical concept that we are all one, unified in a holistic universe. It reminds us to look at the needs and goals we have in common with others, and to seek cooperation and community action rather than attempting to do everything on our own. To achieve our goals, we need the active cooperation of others. And to get that cooperation, we must be helpful to them and willing to work with their ideas as well as our own. It suggests that we think of things in terms of equal partnerships rather than in lines of hierarchical authority. Unity also tells us that we have much to gain by remembering our own wholeness. Resolution of inner conflict is often necessary before we move ahead. It is important at this time that we work toward cooperation and reconciliation within and without. Seek the highest good of all involved, and not merely your idea of highest good. Ask for the divine energy of unity to permeate and guide you. Yeah, that is so on point, because in your reclaiming of your own power and authority, you really are showing up as equal to others, and that you are so aligned with and in tune with spirit and your intuition and to the highest and greatest good of all, right? In that sense of connection to others and really approaching things in a diplomatic way, that there's no way that you're going to be steamrolling over people. It's more about you are an example, you are a leader, but there's no like you're better than someone else or, that type of thing. It's not like that. And I think that's a beautiful kind of line to toe, right? You are in that duality as your own individual being, and knowing that you are part of the whole. So some beautiful, beautiful messages, pile one, all very positive. So I hope this is encouraging to you. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, then hit that subscribe button. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time, bye, pile one. Hi, pile two. If you chose Eastern Cottonwood, connection. This is your reading. So we're going to start with tarot. This is your final message that we will look at the end. Okay, interesting. We have the Five of Pentacles, the Knave of Chalices, or the Page of Chalices, and the Knight of Chalices. Interesting. So we have this, the first impression I'm getting from the Five of Pentacles is a sense of feeling lost and not really feeling connected to your resources in your life. And with the Five of Pentacles, it can feel like you are lacking in what you need as far as resources and money. And I also feel like in this depiction, there's this sense of not being connected. You see the gnomes in the tree, like trying to get this person's attention. And so maybe you felt like you haven't been able to like feel that connection. And that winter scene, it can be this time of quiet and stillness. And as we are coming out of winter, at least right now, as I'm recording this, we're headed towards spring, and it's interesting to see with the Knave of Chalices that he is like peering into water and seeing his own reflection. And there's a sense of like maybe for the first time getting a sense of who you are and maybe recognizing something within you that you had not noticed before, that maybe has I want to say like has just shown up, and there's a sense of like it feels new, and there's a curiosity there. There is a kind of wondering about what this means for you. And I do feel like there could still be that potential, like you're feeling a little lost. Like, what does this mean? There's like a sense of maybe not being so sure. With the Knight of Chalices, it feels much more sure of who he is and what he desires. So this could be a time for you to begin to trust your heart, to trust who you are as a soul. And I am getting for some of you like who you are as a lover, as someone who is seeking a relationship or is in a relationship. There is that energy that I'm getting from this. And for some of you, this could resonate because it feels like maybe for a while you've been walking this path alone with that Five of Pentacles, and that sense of like it's wearing you down and you're really not sure where you're headed. There is something about going within, getting in tune with your heart. I feel like for some of you, this could be heart healing, going into your heart center and noticing if there are parts of you that need some compassion, that need some nurturing. I'm feeling maybe an inner child part. There's like a deep, I feel like this is in this reflection, it's like, okay, we're squaring up for the first time, and this is real. We're doing it. Like I'm facing something that maybe was, a trauma or something within, like a wound, emotional wound that really now it's ready to be acknowledged and processed. And this is the perfect time for this releasing. Okay, and I was just saying it was a perfect time for this to be acknowledged and to be releasing this. And we had a special guest and during pile 1, and a spider came across the desk and it dropped to the ground. And suddenly, as I was saying that, it was crawling on me. So I would say yes, that is a confirmation of it wanting to be acknowledged. So let's get into we have a dark mirror card to get a little bit more into what it is that could be coming up, right? The shadow side that needs releasing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Artificial heart. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So when I was feeling that wound, that sense of a trauma, a painful experience, something that has been held in the heart, it is now wanting to be released. Because in some sense, this is blocking you from true, pure connection to love, to a full sense of like your own self-love and your own sense of who you are, what you desire, all of that. So it's really asking to be acknowledged and healed, bringing in that intention for healing and releasing some of this, what is past stuff that could be blocking your heart chakra, that is interfering with connecting to others. And what Spirit's saying is at first it was helping you out in some way as a protective mechanism, this kind of holding on energetically in a way to kind of block and repel connection, so that you would not experience that type of heartbreak or disappointment or wounding again. But Spirit's saying now it's more interfering. And so to move forward, there is that healing that needs to be done. We have great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. Okay, the message I'm getting from this is that everything we experience can be a spiritual lesson. If we open to it and we ask, what is this showing me? What am I meant to learn from this? Even that question of this wound in the heart, the block in the heart, could be the key to releasing. Like I'm seeing that a dove, like flying free, that could be enough to release that pain from your heart. And that you can then utilize that like as a teacher, as a wise guide moving forward for others. If that's aligned with your interests, your passions, then that is, I'm hearing that's gold, right? To have these experiences where you overcome. It's really meant to be shared when you work through something and you come out even stronger. And I don't want to be, dismissive of like yes, absolutely there is pain and suffering and horrible, horrible atrocities and traumas. And it's when you are at the point of being able to release, when it's ready, when you're ready. I mean, there's no pressure like, oh, you have to brush it off. That would be, bypassing really. Spirit's just calling you to your heart to, again, I keep coming to that word, acknowledging, recognizing having a connection to that wound. So rather than just kind of ignoring it or sweeping something under the rug and not really wanting to look at it, there is a benefit, there is a healing aspect in just kind of allowing it that space. And it's like sitting down at the table and you're going to have a coffee with it and find out what it has to say. I hope that makes sense, pile 2. Yeah, spring. See your seeds grow. Again, so we're like that winter, it's barren, there's not a whole lot going on. We are springing into spring, y'all. So it is opening up. I feel like it's coming from your heart, like the green, the emerald green of the heart chakra and of spring coming in. This is the perfect time to be like planting new seeds. Right now, as we're going into a new moon, you can be thinking about what it is you are looking to bring in or like go after. There is some of that movement here with you, pile 2. It's like you are almost at that point where you're ready to like move forward in this way, in a quite active way, and like bringing your cup into the world. So this is the perfect time to pull those weeds, prepare the soil so that you have this beautiful, freeing movement. And again, like the rabbit, like leaping, this is so, it feels like lightening. It's going to lighten your energy, lighten your body. You're going to feel that relief. Oh, yeah, we have a lot of nature, like with spring and walking this path. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. Taking that time. Like instead of just trudging forward on this path that feels barren, it's like right now or recently you felt this and you felt this almost like a resistance, like you're having to almost like fight your way through this path. But if you stop and relax, things open up so much more, pile 2. So if that means literally going out into nature, and what I'm getting from spirit is a sense of you're going to go out and hike because you need to burn this many calories and you need to do it in this amount of time and you're going to do this specific trail and it's going to be exactly like this. And if you don't do it, that is not the energy that is going to be helping you. So if that resonates for some of you as like a metaphor, to approach this in a completely different way more relaxed, open. Again, like curiosity, I was getting like curiosity, kind of like wonderment, just being open to what could come up, what you could kind of stumble across, what you could run into, and just being open to enjoying the experience and whatever comes up. And really feeling that in your heart. I feel like that could be a very priming way to get into the heart healing. This could be a safe space for you if you're out in nature to allow some of that wounding to come up, to be processed, pile 2. Oh yeah, and we have hope. Your loved ones in the spirit world know when to reach out if they see you're at a low point. Whether you're caught up in a difficult situation or struggling with someone specific in your life, there is always hope. there's always hope. Yeah. With that, like with that Five of Pentacles, the gnomes, your guides are right there. They are walking the path with you, and they are there to help you. You are always being supported, and I'm feeling like they're nudging you. And for some of you with like that, with the artificial heart, it could be that you lost hope in other people, in the situation, or for your own life, your own path. Well, the hope, it's springing back. It is there for you. You are connected. You are meant to be connected. I'm hearing you're meant to be accepted. So if you faced rejection and betrayal, you are meant to experience the other side. That would be the experience of one extreme to another, and that you are meant to kind of what feels like harness the full gamut of that experience, because you are this wise soul. You are meant to create things and be connected with others and be an example, be a teacher, pile 2. So let's see what your final message is. We will read from the book. Okay, interesting. So we had pile 1 had 1, and pile 2, you have 2. So let me pull it up here. We have ecstasis or ecstasis, which is saying ecstasy, joy, rapture, motivation. And I just have to point out ecstasy here in this card. There's a little bit of a synchronicity, and again, you're meant to have this. Ecstasy is something people seek. It feels better than good. It feels, well, ecstatic. We experience it in tiny bursts and in bigger surges. It enables us to recognize the sacred nature of our own being as an experienced fact, not merely a theory or article of faith. Ecstasy is not something we can make within ourselves, but something that flows through us when we open ourselves to it. It fills us with power and with the motivation to grow, to become what we have the positive potential of being, and to fulfill our purpose in being here and now on this planet. When we are feeling these surges of joy, we are empowered, and we know that we are on an appropriate track for us, the track that leads to greater meaning and fulfillment in our lives. This card in a reading says, among other things, go for it. It confirms that we are on course, moving in a good direction, and that we are in harmony with a great song. It says great joy and great accomplishment are within your reach. Its song also lights up and empowers the cards around it, healing the past, intensifying the moment, enlightening the future. That's beautiful, pile 2. Yeah, you're meant to harness this ecstasy, this love, this passion, this beauty that's all around you. This is meant to fill you up, and it's saying to really connect with it, to pull it in, and then also like moving you on this track, allowing you to grow. Again, you're connecting. You are bringing that growth forward to others. And so by tapping into this energy, the emotions of being in tune with nature in particular is going to be so healing for you and empowering. And it's going to clear out the wounds, the pain, whatever's ready to be released. Like I feel it's going to just crack like the Grinch The heart is going to grow in size. It's ready. You've been on this path. You were never alone. You are ready to spring forward to manifest this and really enjoy. So again, for you, like this springtime is important, and to make this a priority is what it feels like. Make this a priority, and you will see exponential growth, pile 2. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, then please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, then please subscribe. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time, bye, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. If you chose Linden, this is your reading. So with Linden, we had peace, right? This is your final message, so we'll leave it there for now. But we're going to look at tarot. So we have the 7 of Swords. We have the 3 of Chalices. And we have the 4 of Swords. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, with Linden and the main message being peace and bringing that forward, it looks like that is being reinforced with the 4 of Swords. With the 7 of Swords, yeah, there's a little bit of a sense of like, I don't know, chaos and some confusion and maybe some interference of some sort. And so for some of you, I don't know, I'm getting the sense of people being in your business, maybe snooping where they shouldn't be, especially with this depiction. And so this could be a reminder of, I'm hearing like, being the bigger person. And I'm also getting a sense of you're aware of this person's actions. And there is something here about stepping back and observing, and you will come to some sort of realization and understanding from this place. And it's about releasing the emotions around it, what feels like quite big energy emotionally, where it could be a lot of like frustration and potentially anger at this connection. And so there is a cord cutting that could be done with that situation / person or persons, because what it feels like is it could just be so distracting and confusing, and really like I'm getting a lot of annoyance, and this is affecting you energetically, emotionally, physically. It just becomes such a burden on you mentally. And so the 3 of Cups is asking you to release what you can by getting together with good, supportive people in your life, doing the things you love to do, getting a little bit wild, getting a little bit crazy in a good way. Like you're just kind of being free. If that means you're literally around a bonfire and you're connecting, I'm getting a sense of maybe venting or like sharing stories with others, getting support in that way will be very freeing for you. And I'm feeling like you will get different perspectives. So on one hand, it's like cutting connections to unhelpful, unhealthy dynamics with people. But on another hand, it's like a little bit of like stoking that fire with other connections that are more in alignment with you, that are more loving and supportive. Because you do need actually a positive distraction away from this situation. So you actually need to be called back to what it is that brings you peace and joy. Pile 3. You are meant to be taking some time to be silly, to not have to have everything on your plate, is what I'm getting. Like, there's so much responsibility here, and it feels like maybe you've been taking the brunt of the responsibility, or maybe even taking the blame somehow. And Spirit is like, you gotta, if you can't, release it immediately, right? If it's something that you're having to kind of manage, you do need a timeout. Like maybe some of you do need a camping trip or something. If that resonates for you, or maybe it's a spa day, like something that just gets you out of this energy, even for a little while. So let's see with a dark mirror. Okay, we have atonement. And immediately I'm feeling there's something here about like how I was feeling from Spirit of you taking some sort of blame or taking on more responsibility. It isn't right anymore. I feel like you've taken enough, pile 3. Maybe there was some type of reparation with this person that you realize you needed to atone. But at this point, it's almost like it's gone way too far. Now it's like they're taking advantage of you, is what I'm feeling. So, take what resonates, release the rest. But there's some dynamic there that it's become toxic. And you are now burdened. And there's like this sense of it's unfair. It's unfair. And Spirit is bringing this to your attention because for some of you, you've been in this routine of this dynamic, this relationship dynamic for so long. And I almost feel like this could be a job maybe for some people. I mean, there's always people involved, right? But this could be so routine that you almost can't even see it anymore, or it's now coming up as like, oh crap, I've been in this way too long. Like it's gone too far. It's not right. I'm feeling like it's unjust. So Spirit is like calling you to shed some of this energetic, like stifling, what could be like martyrdom. It's not you. It's not meant for you anymore at this point. Pile 3. Okay, we have fire guardian, ignite your passions. So again, like there's that stoking of the fire. I feel like with that burden, that constriction of you and being kind of stuck in this routine, it feels very draining and just mundane and just like you're so burdened you can't be you. And so this is waking you up. I'm feeling like Spirit's coming in here and like waking you up, igniting you and getting you what feels like to kind of fight back, to like feel that anger and frustration that maybe has been building up, that hasn't been expressed. Like it's like getting in tune with it and tapping into that divine fire energy and releasing some of that stuff that just needs to be vented, that needs to be transmuted, whether that's like in an actual kind of ritual, working with fire and your friends, whatever it is for you that feels right, there is that need. It's like a volcano. It's gonna blow, and there's something here about you actually igniting it yourself, being in control of that, being in charge of that, being in charge of your own emotions and energy, that's going to be the most healing and helpful and empowering way through this situation. Okay, peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Again, like there's this interesting situation where what feels like with this person, situation, dynamic, there was this, on one hand, this person is right or correct or, needed atonement by you, from you. But now it's like reversed. So it's really about how can we just bring peace to this whole situation. That at this point, it's not even about who is right, who is wrong. It's a lot more nuanced than that, is what it seems. It's a lot more complex than that. But it doesn't need to be the status quo anymore. Like that complexity doesn't need to be what's active. So it's like igniting something else, bringing you to a new state, a different state. For some of you, I am getting to work with whether it's sage or incense or, Palo Santo. Maybe there's other kind of blends of herbs if you feel drawn to that, if you work with that sort of practice that you'd find maybe in witchcraft or whatever belief system or ritual system that you connect with, that you are a part of. That could be beneficial, and there could be this intention setting and releasing ritual that you could do where I'm almost seeing you like writing out everything that you are ready to be rid of, that you are ready to be the past, and what you are ready to offer to be healed, to be brought back to wholeness and resolution, to bring in peace and a better foundation. I'm feeling maybe for some of you, there's been a walking on eggshells and just like instability. It's just not an ideal situation or setup for like growth and moving on. So this is where you're being called in to create this pile 3. So I know it feels like a lot, but it is absolutely in your highest and greatest good. So we have surrender, comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Yeah. So that could be that tricky situation where there's a lot of comparing, like, well, you've done this, I haven't done this. And it could be whether you're seeing it in a positive way or a negative way, it isn't helpful. And so by you harnessing your own confidence, like your own power, your own strength, really igniting that within you, like I keep seeing this kind of fiery palette and the potency of fire to be extremely destructive, but it's also absolutely necessary for replenishing the soil, for allowing new things to grow. So again, like there's a better foundation here to be had. And we have memories. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in the spirit world, for neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. This is absolutely some of the inner work that you could be coming upon relating to this situation. If it is in the past, maybe it's having to do with your past or someone who maybe is no longer in the world, and then it's like you're dealing with the after effects of maybe how they treated you, and you've been carrying that wounding forward in some way, but you are your own person. And I feel like for some of you, there could be almost like a ghost of a past relationship that you still in some way you can hear them, you can know what they would be saying to you, and you've internalized it and been following like, oh, well, they would expect me to be this way. They would expect me to do things like this. Whatever it is, if that resonates for you, that could be what's coming up. And so there is what feels like some deep diving into memories and allowing them to come up when they need to so that they can be released. There could be a little bit of not wanting to look at the past, but really it could be that you're kind of carrying it forward without realizing. So this is, again, the perfect time, the new moon coming up, to be releasing right now, to be allowing that to bubble up, even if it's difficult, and to allow it to be transmuted. It really feels like when you are connecting to those memories, you're going to find the power within them to take that into yourself in a new way that's going to strengthen you and motivate you and bring you peace and joy. And what isn't, helping you or valuing you anymore, what isn't really worth holding on to, is going to be transmuted into new energy, into new passions, and creating new memories, right? So let's look at your final message, pile 3. We have the Bright Mother, and I will read from the book. So, the Bright Mother, card 16, creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, sheltering. When the Bright Mother is present in a reading, she speaks of a time of fertility, creativity, and nurturing of ourselves or of others. She might indicate marriage or the birth of a child, or a deepening of any kind of a relationship. She also speaks of giving one's all to life, not holding back. She is like a cornucopia pouring forth abundance. This may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later. Patience may be needed for the process being discussed. Consider what you have. Acknowledge the people and things in your life, good, bad, indifferent. This consideration is not to judge, approve, or reject, but merely to recognize what is present in your life. These are your present fulfillments, the things you have created for yourself, drawing upon the power of unity and the singers, or not, as the case may be. Once you have looked clearly at what is present in your life, you may want to ask yourself what you want to change. And so I feel drawn to read the Singer's card, the Singer of Connection, because that came up, as well as Unity, which is actually in pile 1. But Unity is a little bit more, self-explanatory, with like unity consciousness and connection to all and the whole. So the Singer of Connection, spiritual connection, karma, balance, empathy. Through the power of this singer, all connections are made, held, and released as appropriate. In a reading, the singer indicates the connection of things, especially reconnecting those that have been sundered. It is unifying and reunifying. It tells us that we need to be aware of the connections between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between the people linked by it. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support. The presence of the Singer of Connection in a reading indicates support and strength flowing through the connections between those involved. All right, so I feel like that really does connect then with the complexity of this situation, this dynamic, and the need to come from a place of observer and allowing strength to be gained from some of this, what feels like chaos, and not coming from a place of judgment and kind of that critical eye. It's more like you are just kind of open to seeing what's happening. And so that energy Spirit's bringing up is very important for you, because you're going to see things more clearly and really be able to almost like get data from them. And that is going to be more healing than kind of coming from an extremely emotional state where you aren't going to be able to utilize. Again, I'm getting a sense of like you're getting something out of this, and you're pulling on it and you're pulling it in. And that would make sense, like with the Bright Mother, you're creating, you're nurturing, and maybe this has to do with like a mother relationship in some way. Maybe it was maternal or something, and there's a reparation here, whether it's with that person or it's within yourself, and you're bringing that mothering to yourself in some way, that nurturing, that self-love, that there is that kind of shift in whether you are meant to be taking on the burden at this point or whether it's time to release and for you to be, having your needs met now. There is this, again, it's complex. It's not super straightforward, but you are being supported in this, and the time is now to reclaim your power, reclaim your peace and your joy, and set that intention moving forward. And it really feels like you're breaking out of this cage of the past, really is what it feels like, pile 3. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. I thank you so much for being here. If you want to see more from me, then hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a like. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time, bye, pile 3.